Right, I want to say welcome back, everybody, to Mettle Labs podcast. So we are here with two special guests. We are here with Mr. Demir Coker,
Thanks for having me.
and we are also here with Mr. Keith Williams.
Peace.
All right, awesome. So I know that before we even get started, I just want to give everybody a little bit of background. So I know that Demir, your father spent some time incarcerated, not being able to be in the home with you on a daily basis.
Yes, sir.
And then Keith, I know that you actually spent some time being incarcerated, not being able to be with your children on that daily basis.
Yeah.
So both of y'all are able to see what it looked like from the opposite end of the coin. So actually, I want to start with you, Keith. I just have one big question for you. If your child was here, what would you like them to know while you were incarcerated? What's one thing that you wish that you were able to tell them?
Wow. Just one thing?
Just one thing, if you
Because
can.
there's so many. I mean,
I know.
One thing I would like to do is look my daughter in the eye and apologize.
Mhm.
Apologize to her for allowing myself to get into a situation where it brought about separation between her and I, and ask for her forgiveness.
So in this very second, would you actually mind apologizing to Demir?
Demir, I apologize for putting myself in a situation where it made life a little bit more difficult for you and kept us separated. I think I was being selfish, thinking about myself, and I just want to hope that you would just accept my apology.
Definitely. Yeah, that hits home. I think me and my dad, we never really had a conversation about his time when he was away. Um, Me and my dad, we as I age, we got a closer relationship, but definitely when I was young, I kind of hated him for it. Him being away from the house. When I was born, the first person that helped me was my auntie, because my dad was in jail. We used to go visit my dad in jail. I remember I had the AI jersey on, number 3. Then as a kid, you really don't see it. You look back at those pictures and the times that was lost, and some developmental stages that other people might have with their dad, or memories or pictures they might have with their dad. And mine's is in a state facility.
Yeah,
So I just think about that from time to time. But having that apology, that really hits home.
yeah, yeah. So that would be the first thing I would, sit down and like say to my daughter, and just so many things that I learned along the way. Just missing her, and I shared before. One time I asked her if it was one thing that we could do together, what would it be? And she said that that they had a father and daughter ball coming up, and I was through after that, because I mean, I guess it just kind of hit me that that will never happen again. At that time, at that age, and just go to show that children, they have their own thoughts, they have their own perceptions about certain things, and they're missing things, you know. And I know oftentimes we thinking about, me, I gotta do this and I gotta do that, but they're thinking about things, and it's kind of like, especially from a dad perspective in his relationship with his daughter. I'm the first man that she'll ever love. I'm the one to open car doors for her and pull out chairs and show her how she's supposed to be treated like a queen, right? I set the standard so that when other men come after that and she thinks in her mind, they can't even treat me like my father treat me, you know? Looking in the eye and telling her she's a queen,
Yeah,
you know?
powerful.
Opening up the door for her, pulling out a chair for her, And I think that kind of just sets the bar high for the next person. So a guy coming along and he's treating her any kind of way, and she's accustomed to a standard now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just to be able to look in the eye and tell her I love you, I'm here for you, and no matter what you go through in life, I got your back.
Yeah, and that's extremely important. Just to be able to have your child's back, right? Just to be able to have them. And I actually just want to transition because I wanted to ask the mirror question now. If there was one thing that you were able to say to your dad, what would it be if he was sitting right here today?
One thing I would say. That's a good question. I, so I'm gonna answer it in a different way. I'm say, right now, as a 25-year-old male, as a young man, I say it's okay. You know what I mean? Cause I still feel like I gained some stuff from those situations. I gained that grit, that hustle, that determination. Even though my dad was locked up for a minute, he got like 3 businesses now. You know, he provide for his family. Just got married in Mexico type stuff. So like that hustle, that grind. That's one thing I say thank you. But when I was a kid, what would I say to him? I just needed the time. You know what I mean? I ain't need the gifts. I ain't need like when he got out the gifts, the money. I ain't need. I just wanted the time to make up for the time that was lost. Cause all that other stuff that's gonna perish. That's gonna fade. But that love and that time, that being held, you know, coming like you mentioned the father daughter dance. First thing came to mind was Pee Wee football. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seeing my dad run through as I run through them holes, as I catch the ball, like
Yeah.
see him cheer on the sideline. That's something that I wish I had the opportunity. So just time. That all I need is your time. Everything else, that's gonna come later on.
Yeah, and I think about that, man. You know, our most precious commodity is our time. Everywhere you go, people want your time. You got a minute? It's never a minute. You got a sec? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, and then being in there and just thinking about how time just slowly grinds, and then you kind of gauging things by football season, Christmas, New Year's, and just thinking about all the wasted time. So now I'm very, very conscientious of time. You know, my uncle was in the military, and he lives in Arizona. And one time we talked on the phone about almost an hour and 30 minutes. And I was trying to share with him and trying to say it in a cordial, kind of respectful way. I said, man, I don't have that kind of time on the phone. I don't. I know your family. I mean, but it's just so much to do, and I just think about all the time that's just gone.
So do you feel like you're making up for lost time?
You know, at one time I used to think like that to me, and somebody told me, don't try to make up, because you'll find yourself burning out, trying to make up, trying to make up, trying to make up. And now that I think about it, I think it was my older sister, and she said, don't try to make up. She said, just come home, be a father, live your life, and just take it one day at a time. You're trying to make up for, let's say you're gone 20 years. You're trying to make up for 20 Christmases. You're trying to make up for 20 birthdays. You're trying to make up the times that I couldn't go to the school dance with you, or times I didn't take you to the mall, and you steady I'm trying to make up, and you burn out. Love her now. Tell her that you love her, and just let life just take its course.
So I've heard you both mention time. Time was a very important thing. Keith, you mentioned time you missed with your daughter. Demir, you mentioned time that you missed with your father. That was an extremely important thing. What is something that y'all are able to do with the time right now?
Oh, not wasted. For sure. Not wasted.
Not for real.
Yeah, things we can do with the time right now. Like I mentioned, going to his wedding, him coming to my graduations, us, talking on the phone more, joking about sports and things of that sort. Just not trying to catch up with the time that's lost, but really just cherishing the time that we have left. And I think that's been a great thing we've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. My time is like I mentioned, is I'm very conscientious of my time. I mean, even down to the point where, and I don't laugh at this, but I iron my clothes for work the day before. My socks and stuff is clean the day before. I even had the coffee pot set. Word, for real. The coffee. So when I come downstairs after I get finished taking care of my hygiene, boom, I push that. Boom, I already know I'm going to the news. Already know I got this to do. Already know I got these 2 emails already and queued up. Because I already know that's what that's how conscientious I am about the time. How long is it going to take me to get there? What I need to do to get there? And what can I do to try to stay ahead, if you will. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm always trying to stay in a situation where I'm not behind. So I'm trying to plan accordingly. So everything is calculated, everything is methodical, and it's to the point where I'm saying, hey, I'm going to be early because I don't want to be late, and I don't want to fall behind. And I think that definitely has something to do with being locked up and just time. Time just you never gonna get it back.
No, that's one
You're
thing.
never gonna get it back. And as much as we love money, it's not the most precious commodity.
Nope.
It's your time.
Yeah. So awesome. I want to thank you guys so much today. I just want us to end with you being able to dap each other up and let each other know that we have the perfect amount of time that we need.
Yes, we do.
And if I may, one more thing I wanted to share about that. And I think I shared this with you before, Quentin. Another way that I look at time is this. Everybody is given $24,000 a day. Translate that into 24 hours. So if I gave you $24,000 every day, what would you do with it? So think about your time. You got 24 hours a day. It's a gift.
It is.
God gives you a gift. It's 24 hours.
Yes, he does.
And he's just sitting back and saying, okay, I'm going to see what you're going to do with this 24. What you going to do with this 24,000?
Right.
What you going to do? Right? Are you sitting down playing video games? Are you sleeping all day? You got your foot up? What are you doing?
You gonna waste it or you gonna let it grow?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Plant seeds.
So awesome. I just want to say thank you guys out there for joining Mettle Labs podcast. And we hope to see you next video.
Appreciate ya.
Peace.
My boy. That's all you